Hello. It is spooky season, and so I decided to record a thing for spooky season, especially because I'm going to be busy for the next couple weeks, so I won't be able to record more Hunter with Dar. Yeah, funny how work events can do that. I know I've kind of vanished off the face of the earth, what with moving and all that jazz. Honestly, at this point, the biggest contributor is just I work third shift now, and my circadian rhythm does not agree with that. That is changing, but... well, it's a time. So, I will be completely blunt, I am not going into this game blind. I actually have like 30 or some hours into this, but I have created a new save file. I'm also going to give you one very strong warning. There is graphic content in this game. Bare minimum, there is gore. I believe there's also mentions of suicide in certain mysteries. If you're uncomfortable with either of those things, I would go elsewhere. As it stands, we're just going to jump in and start a new story. Well, actually, one sec, we're gonna check our options because there are some things I want to check. Let's see, that's fine. Fine. Basically, I'm gonna turn on extra information, the extra math. Yep, that's it. That's all I wanted to change. The extra math is because I'm going to kind of explain how the dice rolling system works. Alright, so let's just jump in with a new story. Now, we are going to choose a palette other than the normal black and white palette. We're going to pick one of my favorite palettes. And it is one that will show my age a great deal once I can find it. Come on. This game has a lot of color palettes. Really? I guess I went the wrong direction. Nope, nope. Oh, I didn't have 2-bit selected. There we go! Now, there is a tutorial case we can do. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to customize our playthrough. I don't have any of the card packs unlocked other than like this more students one. And admittedly, I'm partially getting this in before we get an update. I think we're going to get an update within the next year, but you know, the dev is a new father and a dentist, so updates take a hot minute. I'm not going to bother with... I don't even know what the seating affects, so I'm not going to change it. In the city of Shiokawa, Japan, 1980-something. Something strange is happening in our town. Robed figures can be seen gathering in the woods at night. People are going missing. Disgusting creatures are terrorizing the seaside. The rapid technological progress of the modern era brings comfort, but also new unknown threats. Old gods, malicious eldritch beings who ruled the earth eons ago, are awakening as reality starts to crumble. Armed with clues, spells, and your dwindling sanity, you'll investigate mysteries across the city, and in realms beyond. An old train slows down and stops at its last station. The end of the world is at hand, and you've finally arrived in the doomed town. So we only have a few characters to start with right now. We have Kirie Minami, Could the ghosts following her be in any way connected with all the weird events happening in this town?
No.
Aiko Takahashi? Barely surviving after a ghost of a drowned man kept her underwater. She is determined to solve the mystery. She's actually one of my favorite characters to play, I won't lie. That combat speed bonus and the dexterity bonus are huge. We have Haru. Robbing that old abandoned manor was a mistake. With his friends dead and mutilated and a vengeful horror chasing him, no speed is too fast. He has an interesting mechanic with his cigarettes. Mizuki Hamasaki. What a strange world we live in, where stopping an ancient evil is the easiest way to boost your career.
Oh.
And we have Koji Tagawa. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. The government won't sweep this one under the rug.
No.
To give people, like, a basic idea on this, I'm going to just start with Aiko. And she's going to get the basic World of Horror backstory. We're not going to do item statistics randomization. In this case, let's see. I do want to get the character exclusive cards. I don't want to just draw random ones. And at the moment, we are going to do Timeline A. Perhaps as it gets a little closer to spooky time, we will start doing Timeline B. Because that is a more spooky one. And we are just going to be on the default difficulty. Which is Cultist. Now, unfortunately, we don't have story mode yet, and I don't have endless mode unlocked on this profile. So we're just going to select an old god. Somewhere a group of people gathers, trying to awaken their master. We have 4 old gods to choose through. Takatarasu, who is the spider god. The terrible spider god Katako Atarasu is once again awakening from its slumber. Blinded by its impossible to satisfy hunger, it has started to tear down the walls of its cocoon prison. This one has an effect of you can't run from combat. Ithotu, the devouring fire. This supposed cause of destruction of the Library of Alexandria. A perfect black marble statue has been recently discovered and is currently waiting at the Museum of Unknown for its long-awaited premiere. I believe this is a more Japanese way of, like, basically being like Mr. X. It says entropy. Both your damage and your enemies is increased. Athio's Lath. Oh, unpronounceable. The Mad God favors astronomers and magicians, granting them its gift of power that unknowingly brings its bloated body closer and closer to Earth. In this case, if a spell is supposed to cost reason, it will increase your doom instead. We'll get into reason in a moment. And then we have Goizo, the thing forsaken by God. Banished to the other dimension a long time ago, Goizo found a way to use mirrors to ensnare and teleport its prey straight through reflective glass. The glimpses behind your reflections are just the beginning of a real nightmare. This one, resting increases my doom penalty. Now, for an easy, like, just showing you how this game works, I'm gonna go with this guy. I don't do a lot of spell casting, and especially playing Aiko, I'm probably really not gonna do a lot of spell casting. The media has been reporting about various people with seemingly supernatural skills. Could it have any connection with the news about stars disappearing from the night sky? Now, we did learn the skin removal spell. This would increase our doom by 3%. So, to give a rough idea of our stats here, stamina is our physical health. Reason is our mental health. Aiko has some pretty decent stats around the board, and we start with 4 funds. Funds are obviously money. Doom. If Doom reaches 100, you lose the game. The end. No questions asked. You can sometimes get by ending a battle with less than 0 stamina or reason if you restore it before you start the next mystery. Now, we are going to look at the lighthouse. For lighthouse, these icons here show what floors we're going to run into when we get into the lighthouse. I don't remember what they mean. Except one of these is going to be a photo challenge. Okay. I will hit the first time playing thing. Welcome and thank you for trying World of Horror. Inspired by adventure games from the 80s, the visual overload may initially be a little disorienting. In this short tutorial, I'll do my best to explain the various elements and prepare you to fight the horrible old gods. We have the main game screen. Here you'll interact with your surroundings, solve mysteries, and fight enemies. We have the user interface. We manage our inventory, cast spells, and access the game options. This is on the right. This is us on the right. World of Horror has RPG elements, and your attributes are described by 6 basic stats. Strength. Yeah. We have strength, dexterity, perception, knowledge, charisma, and funds. We have our inventory. We can have up to 4 items that aren't equipped. To inspect, use, or equip anything we pick up, we select an item in question from this area. There are 3 equipment slots. Equipped items do not count towards our 4-item limit. Item A is our weapon used in combat. B and C are trinkets and armor. As we progress through our playthrough, more helpful tips will appear. Do we want to turn on the combat tutorial? Not really. We're just going to go to our home. Our mailbox is empty. Now that mailbox has something in it. We are currently not investigating any weird mystery. Recent newspaper clippings and notes are in the next room. First thing we're going to do, and I always do this first, I open that drawer because sometimes there's an empty bottle in it. And if there's an empty bottle in it, I can take a bath and fill the bottle with water. I'm also going to use warm water to get a quick XP boost. The bottle will give us 1 stamina back when we drink from it, from our bath water. Right then. And what's nice is though, you get the empty bottle back. Next, we're going to go to the change clothes screen because there is money in there. 1 fund. We're just going to look through the outfits. Gym clothes. Sakhalin. And teacher's pet. She looks cute like that, but I'm just going to go with her default captain's appearance. She is the captain of the swim team after all. We can look through the peephole. There was someone peeking out their door at us. Alright, so we are going to start we're going to watch TV. Now, there are some achievements you can get by dialing certain numbers on the phone. I don't remember what the number is to get the achievement, and that's okay. So we're just going to start a new mystery. Inexplicable and morbid events have been plaguing your town for some time now. You've marked down 5 of them, hoping there is something connecting them. You can tackle these 5 mysteries in any order you want. Beware your decisions will haunt you and influence yet unsolved mysteries. Yes, some of the mysteries are interconnected. Now, I could re-roll these mysteries until I get, like, some of the ones I really, really like. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to start with, let's see, we have The Sorrowful Saga of the Moonlight Sailors. The Chilling Chronicle of a Crimson Cape. I'm probably going to do that one last. The Horrible History of Household Hell. Bloody Brief of a Beckoning Bulletin. And The Curious Case of a Contagious Coma. We're going to start with the Bloody Brief. As the decades roll on, technology has only developed further. These days, computer bulletin board software allows computers to communicate over phone lines. All it takes is a computer and a modem, and anyone can connect to a bulletin system or even host one of their own. Once you connect, you can read all of the messages on that bulletin and even post your own to start a conversation. Many use them to share files or to chat about their favorite topics, everything from video games to sports to idol culture. But in the wake of a sudden string of weird suicides, things aren't all fun and games. Rumors have surfaced that their deaths are linked to a bulletin system operated from somewhere in Shiokawa. What is behind the suicides? How could so many people all be driven to take their own lives? We'll investigate this mystery. Yep. To advance the mystery, investigate the circled location. As you progress, the location and rules may change. Even if the rumored bulletin system's phone number is found, there's no hope to investigate without a computer to connect to it. Maybe the school library has one that'll work. That is nice, but first we're going to go to downtown and go to the best place in the game. Dog shop! Look, you can boop his nose. That said, I am here for the steak knife. This is actually a fantastic weapon for Aiko. It's very fast. 3 damage is not bad. Now, what's another thing is we have side objectives we can complete, and these are usually these are, I believe, always actually necessary to get the best ending to a mystery. So before we actually investigate downtown, we investigate the school. We're going to go to the forest and investigate it. Twice. You have a feeling that you're being watched, and when you hear a branch snapping, you quickly turn around. There is someone standing in the trees just a few meters away. I'm going to start running. And we rolled a 2. You make it to the edge of the woods scared, but safe. So, the way rolls work in this game, we want our roll to be lower than our relevant stat. I believe the game rolls a d12. Yes, that does mean if a stat is over 12, you can never fail a check on it. We're going to investigate the woods one more time. Your friend has asked you to meet them at a certain secluded location. Getting there, you find a telescope with a note signed by your friend. The note tells you to look through the telescope. You don't see anything at first, then you notice it. The bloated body of Athos Yolast getting closer. After searching deep in the woods for some time, you discover the body of a young student clutching a note. Now, if we read the forest note, I want to write this for everyone wanting to stay behind. The sacrifice is worth it. Life's meaning comes from our relationships. Share death and that connection will outlast you. There won't be anything left but us. Everyone here is waiting for you, so if you lose your resolve, just listen to the voice of humanity. Now we will investigate the school. The corridor is flooded with a black sludge that's slowly oozing from underneath the door of a chemistry classroom. The damp, moldy stench grows as you get closer. How are we going to get to the other side? I'm going to risk going through. I believe that's a dexterity check. Oh, it's perception. You see a sudden movement near your ankle just in time to jump away from something trying to bite your leg. You make it safely to the other side. While the school library's computer doesn't have a modem, you happen to bump into a member of the computer club while asking around. She apparently just got a new system and is willing to let you borrow hers. Thanking her, you arrange to meet at her home in the city. Okay, we go investigate downtown. Alarmed by the sound of glass breaking, you discover the corpse of a policeman lying in a pool of blood. It looks like someone, or something, tore out his throat. This option is a trap. Never choose it. Don't take his gun. You would think this would be a great option in a world of cosmic horror. Do not take the gun. We're gonna just get out of here. We escape before anyone arrives. We are at max reason, so we don't actually get reason, but it is better than taking the gun. You lug the cardboard box full of PC parts up your apartment stairs, teeth clenched as you heave it up one step at a time. God damn, our computer is heavy. Man, do I feel that. Wandering through an empty corridor, you find an old vending machine. You don't recognize the brands of sodas inside, but you could really use a drink. We're just gonna get the cheapest one. Oh. We buy a can of off-brand soda, and when we reach for it, something inside the machine catches your hand. You have to jerk your hand out, injuring yourself. We're gonna look at the mangled hand. Oh, okay. We are going to make a side trip. Now, when we have major injuries like this, we want to go to the hospital and enter. It's going to cost us a little doom, but we need to go to the doctor's office and have surgery. Unfortunately, we got the hasty aid penalty. So if we take stamina damage in combat, we replace hasty aid with a new random injury. And we don't have a location unlocked that I happen to like, so I have no idea how that one's going to go. You wipe the sweat from your brow as you finally finish setting up the computer in your bedroom. After a few tests, you're now certain that everything is functional. The newscaster on the TV says that the suicide rate is still climbing. Worse, the morbid trend is beginning to catch on in other nearby towns. You need to act quickly. As you prepare a bath, you think about all the possible leads so far. You're very tired, so maybe ice-cold water is a good idea. We are going to take a cold bath. Ice-cold water revitalizes you, and you are ready for the investigation. Hoping to find a lead, you head to the hospital. With how many deaths there have been, the hospital is in chaos. The staff look exhausted. When the receptionist lets her head down onto the desk for a minute, you slip out of the waiting room and into the hospital corridors. While taking an elevator, you get a terrible feeling as if something bad is about to happen. The elevator doors open. And we failed our luck check. Elevator doors open, revealing a black mass of eyes and teeth pouring into the elevator, biting and suffocating you. Later, you wake up in a doctor's office. A nurse discovered you lying unconscious on the elevator floor. Yeah, you can just lose stamina and reason in random events. You overhear two nurses talking about a girl whose suicide attempt failed. Apparently, she's recovering at her grandparents' home in the village at the city's outskirts. You exit the hospital and make your way to the nearest bus stop. So go to downtown. Seeing two chopped off heads, you can't help but wonder who's been preparing your food for the past week. We are going to call the police. But we failed our charisma check. There was something in your version of events that didn't add up. You've been detained, but due to the lack of evidence, the police let you go after 48 hours. As you pull into the village bus stop, a news story comes on the driver's radio. An entire class of Shiokawa students leapt in front of a train, hand in hand. You move urgently as you exit the bus and begin searching down the village streets. No one answers when you knock at Professor Takeuchi's door. This is odd because he's usually punctual about his appointments. The smell of blood tells you something's wrong. And you quickly open the door and enter. There's no sign of the professor, but the quantity of blood everywhere leaves little doubt about what happened. But how and why? We're going to try and scrounge the room for useful items. I believe that's a perception check. It is. And we got another empty bottle. Fantastic. You rummage through the doors, trying to find anything useful. The sound of police sirens forces you to grab the nearest item and flee the crime scene. When you find the girl's house, her grandparents greet you solemnly. They thank you for your effort to stop the deaths. Forgive her, her grandfather says as he leads you to her bedroom. She's a kind girl. Something has happened to her. Our master is coming, and we all can bask in its glory. Ah, yes. Now we have a combat encounter. Now this thing is annoying because it does doom damage and has like 22 HP. So we have 4 kinds of actions. We can do support actions, of which we don't have an ally. We can do combat skill, which increases our experience by 5 and gives us a plus 10% chance to hit for the rest of the encounter. We can assess the situation and learn about our enemy. We can look for an improvised weapon. And we can basically give ourselves a one-time emergency boost. We have these actions, which are all for spiritual combat. This is not a ghost. We don't have to care about spiritual combat right now. These are our defensive actions. Dodge, brace, meditate. We can't run from this one. We're going to basically go attack mode. Now, if we mouse over our different attacks, we'll see we have different chances to hit. 36 times 10. So, we have a 65% chance to hit. If I use this, it guarantees that my next attack hits. However, doing this 3 times takes slightly less time than the guaranteed hit. And sometimes that's just enough for me to sneak in another attack. It is not in this case. Unless I could go for the 4 damage attack, but... Oh, and here's another catch. We can only run 8 actions. So I'm going to see if I can just get 3 knife attacks in. The last one's just going to have to be kind of... Last one's just going to have to be taking the 65%. Yep, I missed that last one. Now, we are still going to... We are going to do the same thing. And in fact, I'm going to save this sequence. Because then I can just load it again. And there we go, 11 XP is ours. The recovering girl is more than happy to not only confirm the bulletin's existence, but to give you its number. You have to do what it tells you. Trust me, you won't regret a thing. She beams at you as her grandmother struggles to make her swallow the pain medication. I'll be back to join you all soon. Wait for me, okay? Disquieted, you give the grandparents your phone number and hastily leave. And then my phone scares the life out of me. We're going to, investigate the village one more time. The circle is around wherever we're supposed to be investigating. You've stumbled upon a forgotten bookstore in a small alley. The interior is cluttered with dusty old tomes, animal bones, weird vials, and stuffed exotic animals you don't even recognize. Can I help you? Says the tiny man behind the counter. I have things that will surely help you in your quest. I don't have the money for any of this, so we're just looking. Take your time and see you soon. As you arrive home, you dial the number and put the handset onto the modem. Your heart pans as the computer fans exhale. The system hums. You hear a brief dial tone, and then it finally connects. Welcome home. Do you like it so far? I actually can read these. At least these two. I and EA. I have been slowly learning Japanese. I'm gonna sit here. I'm going to later look at a screenshot of this and try to remember what several of these characters mean. I know that's Tay. That is she. E. No, that's not E. That's Ka. Akae. You know what? We like it here. I'm glad. Take your phone off the modem and put it to your ear. We're going to remember the note. You recall the note you found. Could this be the voice of humanity you read about? Bracing yourself, you slowly put the phone to your ear. You don't hear words or a voice. You soon understand they don't need those. It's difficult, but you manage to keep track of which thoughts are yours and which are theirs. Everyone is here now. We've escaped everything that held us back in life. We don't have any more burdens. You can escape with us. This is the purest form of existence, a paradise of connection. Everyone deserves that. We will bring all humanity together. The thing is, they're saving people through a BBS system. And look at the efforts we had to go to, well, get a BBS system, to get a computer to work with. They can't save everyone at this rate. You explain the imminent arrival of the old god. With its limitations, the Bulletin could never hope to gather humanity in time, not to mention how many people are unable to access a computer. As it is, convincing all of humanity to die is impossible. Oh, then we'll have to wait. It's disappointing, but that's alright. When computers advance, and everyone can be connected, we'll come back for you. It's a promise, okay? The noise on the other end of the line suddenly cuts out completely. Still reeling from the mental assault, you find yourself staggering towards the futon. You collapse into it, and sleep soon takes you. You're awakened by the sound of the phone ringing. After what just happened, you hesitate to answer. You warily grab the handset. When you put the phone to your ear, you hear the trembling voice of the girl you met in the village. I can't thank you enough. It was in my head and I nearly... She bursts into tears, thanking you over and over. You smile, relieved. You later learn that the suicides have come to a sudden and complete halt. But even still, its promise lingers in your mind. How long do you have until it comes back for you? You smother the thought. For now, it's finished. This is ending A. The best ending to this mystery. And hey, we get 30 experience just for completing the mystery. We get an extra 15 for doing the side objective. We get minus 3% doom. We gain 1 reason and stamina for not using the rest action. And a day passes, which doesn't do anything.